So today, guys, we're going to be jumping into our old school, but new, top 5 videos. So we're doing top 5 junglers today. We're going to make sure you guys know what's going on in the meta, and we're going to go through all of the different roles eventually. I'm going to pump this content out pretty quickly, and I'm going to try to keep it updated and put out new videos for these top 5 type things so you know as things change. We're going to count down from number 5 to the best, to number 1, and we're going to jump right into it. So, number 5, Hun Batz. Great team fighting god. Not going to be the best at pub stomping unless you get a lead. But snowballing on this god's a little bit harder just because securing kills usually requires your team. However, with the fact that people are still building Sunder a little bit, they're getting away from it. Sunder got nerfed, it's not picked up as much, and now people are building Bracer of Undoing. They aren't going beads as early. So this this either requires them to switch over and get beads and not get the bracers at level 1, or to get bracers and just eat full Hun Batz ult and die over and over again. Most people are going to get beads. Having somebody who can burn beads, pump out a lot of damage, who has easy initiation on anybody who doesn't have cooldowns up, it makes it really, really, really easy for you to do well. The only downside of Hun Batz is your level like 1 to 2 is pretty bad. Your clear early game is not that great, but if you pair with a good mage in mid, or if you go solo with a solo laner that can clear, you do hit the whole wave with your 2 on Hun Batz, which is nice for clearing. It's just not amazing clear, you know, it's not going to clear the whole wave really quickly. So as long as you get through the early game, you're just looking for level 5 fights. Those early level 5 fights are really good once you have boots, and then looking for any team fights after that. Play the corners on this god, meaning play near Gold Fury right around the corner as people walk in, get big ults. You can kill the tanks with this god early because you have full control of that team fight. You can space out his teammates, or you can just drop it right on him and push him into a wall and kill him. You have a lot of potential. Hun Batz as a god in this meta. Now, like I said, we're working down. So that was Hun Batz at number 5. We're working down to number 4, which is going to be Surkhet. Surkhet saw a lot of play in the meta, and then you saw a lot of bans and a lot of picks kind of back and forth for a while. Then Sunder came out and you saw a little bit less Surkhet. She was still getting banned, she just wasn't getting played as much. And then now, with the lack of Sunder and the shift over to these other gods, kind of away from Sunder and just shifting back into that normal meta, and with bracers being picked up, Surkhet does do really well. You'll probably see her get through more drafts, competitively at least, and in ranked, you're probably going to see her a lot. You're probably going to be able to play Surkhet every game. She does very well against the bracers that people are picking up. Bracers of Undoing, if you guys don't know what those are, they're inactive. They heal you for 50% of the damage you took over the last 5 seconds. They also reduce your cooldowns by like 3 seconds. Pretty strong. So, Surkhet counters that. Surkhet counters healing, which is still really strong. You've got Terra, Vimana, Ra, Amaterasu, Hercules. You have a million healers that are being played right now, right? You have the Guardians who actually do a little bit of healing. You aren't seeing as much meditation, which is also why Surkhet wasn't a priority pick for a little while. But Surkhet is still very, very strong. Your parts of the game that you excel. Level 3. You do a lot of damage to somebody with Bluestone. Level 5, your ult does a fuck ton of damage. You do very well at any 1v1 or 2v2 fights because you can get the double taunt. You can pressure people out that way. You can 1v1 very, very easily. In team fights, you need to avoid the center of the team fights. That's going to be like the downfall to Surkhet. If the other team is grouping very well and it's hard for you to get in, that is where you will struggle. If you are unable to get into a team fight to the squishies, you can always kill the supports or the warriors that are too far into your team. So if your team's just kind of chilling back, their warrior's diving all by himself, turn and kill him. You'll do a lot of damage. You have true damage. You have percentage damage. The god is very, very strong. That is why Surkhet comes in at number 4. Number 3, we're going to see the return of Thor. Thor has pretty much always been a top god for 3 seasons straight. And then we hit a patch not too long ago where Thor wasn't touched at all. Literally was untouched. He's back. Bluestone early game, amazing. Rune Forge coming into the meta made you see a little bit more Thor. And I think that's what really brought him back. You don't need Rune Forge on the god. Most people aren't even building it anymore. But it was the idea that this Rune Forge can make Thor do damage and just be stronger. And then people realize Thor is actually really good. So you're seeing a lot more Thor. Early pressure. Your clear is pretty good. Your ability to fight at level 1 on is insanely high. You have global pressure with your ultimate. You can kill pretty much just about anybody because you're building full penetration. And it's very safe as long as you're not diving in with your hammer. Remember, you're looking to poke on Thor, get an advantage, and then engage after the poke once your abilities are back up. As long as you play like that, you'll do just fine. You can dive into fights with this god. Just be prepared to escape. Make sure you aren't ulting in without your team behind you or your team following up, because that can be kind of rough once you get to mid to late game. Other than that, god safe, a lot of damage. Don't be me, don't miss your ult, and you'll be good to go. Very simple. Number 2 on the list, Nemesis. Sunder gone, so that means Nemesis is amazing at killing tanks. Is pretty much your only way of just destroying a tank. It's Nemesis. And even with Nemesis, I like to pick up Sunder still as my second active, because you're just looking to insta-burst somebody down, and that secures that. And in the event that you Nemesis ult somebody and they Aegis and get out, or they beads and run away, you have the Sunder to kill that next target that's right there out of position. So you always have kind of like a second Nemesis ult. It does very, very well. Obviously not as potent, but very strong. With Nemesis, you're looking to kill tanks. You're looking to go an ability build, because it's going to be better for team fighting. The crit build people run is more of a pub stomp build if you're playing ranked and casuals, and you just know you're better than the other team. If you know you can get in an auto attack for 10 minutes without being attacked or being hit by abilities, then go the crit build. It'll be more fun for you. But the ability build is how you will win in a competitive setting or against decent players. You will play as a team. You will kill the people that are in front of your team. Boom. Simple. Nemesis is not hard. You can dive when you need to, but your ideal fight is to kill the tanks, kill the supports, kill the warriors, kill anyone diving the backline of your team. And then once that person's dead, your backline can move up with you, and you just fucking brag on everybody. It's very, very simple. It's really not too complex. I have guides for builds and the actual playstyle and the ability to auto attack, cancel, and all that stuff on my channel. Just look for the YouTube video and you'll find it, and then you can watch that to learn a little bit more. Finally, number 1 shouldn't be really a shock or surprise. Susanoo. You have early clear, which a lot of these gods don't have. Nemesis doesn't have that early clear. Nemesis is actually pretty bad 1 to 3 unless the other team has no clear at all and just pick some shitty gods. Nemesis can hit the full wave in mid, has a lot of pressure. You can poke while clearing the wave, which is insane. Nemesis has the highest mobility in the game pretty much next to Surkhet, which is always a good thing as an assassin. You have good team fight potential with your ultimate. You can kill and poke the tanks and everyone because you're building full pen. And once again, you can get in and out very easily. You can pull people out of position with your 2. Your ability to set up your team, your mages with your ultimate is very high. The god just does everything right now. Build is a standard ability build. Get a Heartseeker, you have a lot of burst. And just play off of Susanoo as he's always been played. He hasn't been changed too much. He gets getting these slight nerfs, but they really aren't affecting him poorly, like badly in any way. Pretty much do whatever you want with this god. There are very few mid lanes combos, jungle mids versus you as a Susanoo and your mid that are going to out clear you. So just look for pressure, look to take their jungle, and keep up that pressure. You can kill solo laners with Susanoo. Just cancel their dash. Like if Vamana dashes, pull them. If you need to, there's just about anyone you can kill. If Robin immunes, you can pull him and kill him. You just gotta bait it out. Your ultimate is very strong. Make sure you aren't dropping your ultimate at the start of a team fight unless people are really out of position, because you're gonna waste it. Try to get in the fight, poke, do some damage, get out. So you'll run in, you'll 1-1-1 out. The third one will be out. Then you'll re-engage once it's up. Usually there'll be a little bit of pokes. That's when you full engage. So you'll 3 in, you'll 1-1 ultimate, or your ultimate 1-1-1, do the damage, auto attack, all that shit. The build has changed a little bit. I don't build Hydras anymore just because it's not necessary. They made it so Hydras doesn't proc on each part of your 1, so it'll only proc off of your first use of your 1, which is still really good. It's not bad. You can definitely build it if it's what you like to do. Go for it. I just like going for the burstier CDR pen build. I like Jotun's, Heartseeker, full pen, and I usually end up nowadays getting a little bit of defense just because you can get away with it, unless I'm snowballing really hard. If I'm even or behind, I'll grab a Spirit's Rope or a Magi's, just so while I'm moving around being really fast, I can't get CC'd, and it just really works out. So those are your top 5 right now, in my opinion. There are close, and there are close 6 slot gods. There are other gods that can be played, so I'm gonna have like an honorable mentions type bullshit. Nija does very well in a lot of team comps. You are playing a more risky god there if you pick Nija. So I like Nija. It's just more of a niche pick, where these other 5 gods can be played just about in any comp and do just fine. So I don't recommend Nija as high. Camazotz is really good at snowballing. So if you're playing ranked and you're just looking to win games quick and snowball and do really well early and just go off of those early kills because you're better than the other team, Camazotz is a great pick. That's why I have him hovering around 6 or 5. He just isn't a consistent god unless you're pub stomping. And then finally, my true number 6, my number 6 that I really believe could be in top 5 and can be played a lot right now is Ratatoskr. Ratatoskr can build the new shifters, which is amazing. It's actually really good on a lot of these gods. You can go shifters and gladiators and be pretty tanky on Rat, have the more sustain with the gladiators, have the defense, and then you can go right into pen. you just lack on CDR if you go that build. So you kind of have to look at how you're playing and how the matches or the fights, sorry, not the matches, the fights are playing out. If the CDR is going to be more useful for you, you'll have 10%, but you won't have the pen and CDR combo. So it's kind of rough. I do like a Jotuns on Ratatoskr. I've been going shifters Jotuns a lot. But if you get ahead, you get a bunch of kills, getting the Gladiator shield and then pen is going to work out really well for you. So that's something to think about on Ratatoskr. Try out Ratatoskr for me. Let me know what you guys think as to where you think he should be in the top jungle gods. A lot of the gods that people ask about aren't really that good. Fenrir is not that strong. Wheelik's not that strong. Ravana is good, but I'm not considering Ravana in the top 5 because he's so easy to counter. Nemesis counters Ravana. The fact that Sunder isn't as good counters Ravana a little bit. The fact that CC gods are being played again like Hun Batz counters Ravana a little bit. That's where he lacks. That's the thing. He has an all-in playstyle where if that gets disrupted, you kind of get fucked. So I don't recommend Raven. And that's where I stand on the other gods outside of the assassins. Hopefully this video helps you guys understand my point of view and what I'm thinking. And it kind of should get at what you see other junglers in the SPL playing. Pretty much these 5 gods are played all the fucking time. And there's reasons for it. And the reasons that I mentioned are them. They're safe, strong, team fighting, consistent gods, and that's what you want to look for when you're learning to play Smite. When you're learning to play the jungle, you want to play these gods that aren't too difficult to play and are very consistent. I will see you all in the YouTube video tomorrow. Please remember to hit the subscribe button below. It means a lot. I want to hit 100K for the end of the year. That is my goal, my personal goal. So if you guys can help me get there, I'd really appreciate it. Yeah, I'll see you guys in the video tomorrow.